Welcome back. So I got a few interesting things. I actually went to the LCS and picked up a couple of items. One Facebook item, and the rest, of course, were from scouring eBay for things that were priced normally. So, right up top, we have something you don't usually see me pick up. Unusual little tin here. Not 100% sure as to the date, but I'm guessing, consider Willie Mays in a Mets uniform. It goes through 72. I'm guessing that it's 72, 73 ish. And of course, it has Clemente there. So don't be surprised if I see this, or you see this, in someone's mystery box in the near future. I don't even know what it was a tin for. But sold it on my LCS, and he made me a good offer. I was buying other stuff. I basically threw it into the deal. So, of course, you gotta pay it forward and make sure it gets into the hands of the right collector. So that was number one. No, let's just continue with the LCS pickup here. My favorite player on the Phillies, growing up in the early 90s, was Dave Hollins. He happened to have a whole binder full of Phillies postcard size cards. This is an early Phillies one for Hollins. This is 1991, after he just hit a $184 the season prior. 1 year of Major League service, so early sig on him, since I'm quasi familiar with his signature. And I saw it, and it was $5, so I figured I might as well grab it, take it with me, and he put in the top loader, which saved me a few cents there. But let's add that as to one of my ancillary PCs, just from growing up and players I enjoyed. Now let's get into some purchases. We're going to start off with some interesting, different ones. So I know I showed you Max Baer stuff before. This is Max Schmeling, who is the pride of Nazi Germany. And this is who Max Baer defeated, wearing a Star of David on his trunks, to become heavyweight champion of the world. So this is part of a larger project that I'm undertaking, which is why I have this particular card. This is an interesting piece. It came up on Facebook over the summer. And I showed interest then, but they had wanted way too much for it. So fast forward to February the following year, and the price was cut in half. So now it was really a good deal on it, because I've seen this individual stamp, not within the card, go for 2-3 times as much as what I paid for the card itself. This is from the Civil War Divided product that you saw me rip before. This is a Confederate States of America stamp, so there's an actual stamp there. SP number 234. And just as part of history, I wanted to have it, but also just the kind of quasi interesting thing is, if you look at the Confederate stamps around Jefferson Davis, you have 4 Stars of David. So I thought that was a little interesting detail there, and I figured I'd pick it up. So there's the actual stamp, and then there's a clearer, larger, blown up picture in the background. So that was another pickup. And now let's get to the stuff you normally see me get. Even though you haven't seen any of these individual items. Seen similar, though. So, starting off, this is signed. It's very faded. right on his leg. Al Rosen postcard, and the nice thing with these, postmarked August 1951. So I love the dated postcards. You can tell exactly when they were signed, and this is earlier on, before his MVP season. So saw that. I think it was like $5 or $10. Picked that up. Same seller had this one. I think it was also like $10, right around there. This is kind of signed within the black and not all on the leg like the last one, but it is signed, and it also is postmarked May of 1955. So toward the end of his career, his very short career. So 2 signed and dated Al Rosen postcards, which I very much enjoy. And I did find another government issue postcard, Hank Greenberg. Best wishes, also, so it's also inscribed, but generic, not to any individual. Nice, clear, bold signature on there. It is JSA certified. And the interesting thing with this one is it's from the 1 year he was in Pittsburgh. So May 30th, 1947 is when this was sent back to the person who requested it. So I was happy to pick up something from his last season in the majors. A nice signed, dated postcard and authenticated postcard for Greenberg. 2 more items. So this is a picture I've seen a few times on eBay. I was always intrigued by it. Obviously, it's Greenberg looking down at his left wrist. And after consulting with a fellow Greenberg collector and looking at Greenberg's history, since there's no date on the back of this, we surmised that it was either the 35 World Series or early in the 36 season. Because both times in the World Series, Game 2, he sprained his wrist, if I remember correctly, badly, to the point he didn't play the rest of the series. And then the following season, 1936, he broke his wrist. So it was one of those 2 instances. Those were his wrist injuries for his career. So even though it's not dated, we can kind of surmise approximately when the photo was taken. And it is a slightly younger Hank photo. And finally, I have one of these already in my possession, now 2. This is the 1935 R309-2 Gaudi Premium. These are very, very difficult. Very few have been graded just because of the sheer size, probably. But also, there's not a lot floating around. Early Hank image. Obviously, you can look at the D above. This is before the stylized D, adopted later. So early image of Hank, and these they usually go for a lot of money, and they're very thin, so they're susceptible to damage. And in looking at this one, it was a guesstimate that it would probably be about a 3 or 4. Beckett has slabbed most of these. I don't believe SGC has done any of them, and PSA has only graded 2 of them. So again, they're very, very uncommon. The nice thing is this was actually listed on eBay for quite some time, so long that I had seen it in the past and had forgotten about it. And in, again, trying to find the undervalued segments of the current market, the current insane market, I rediscovered this one. And to my surprise, the price on it had not been changed, had not been raised. Now, receiving this, the individual had a price tag on it, obviously for retail sale, for brick and mortar sale, and that is definitely not what I paid. So I think I did very well in this, paid well below market. Back is nice and clean. The corners are decent. And this is a paper thin premium. So it looks like there's a little bit of schmutz on the top, but these, try and find the R309s. There's not a ton that are out there because of the large size and the very thin paper. A lot of them just did not survive well. Because I should say that of at least looking at the PSA graded ones, the two that they've graded, it was a 1, I believe, and a 3. So finding these, definitely was happy with this purchase. I now have 2 of them. I plan on just keeping them part of the PC. And I don't expect to find many others moving forward, especially at old prices as I did. So, pretty good haul. A nice photo, an auto. So we got 1930s images, 1940s SIG, couple of Al Rosen dated pieces, and the odds and ends I was able to pick up just here and there. I'll keep the other 2 off camera, but a little bit interesting, a little bit different, mostly vintage stuff, and quite the range of dates if you really look at things. You have 1860s all the way up to 1990s. So we've covered a nice 130 years in this particular video. But all except for one of these things is going to be sticking in the PC, and the one I already got someone that's definitely going to receive it and add it to their collection. So until next time, please remember to collect what you enjoy what you collect, and don't let anybody, especially the market or a YouTuber, dictate that to you. And most importantly, have fun. And have fun by being active in this community. So find your way of contributing. Whether it's making videos, watching and commenting, going to live streams, group chats, going to your LCS or local card show, or simply talking about the hobby with family and friends. The more you put into it, the more you'll get out of it. The more you'll learn, the more your PC will grow, the more people you'll meet, and the more fantastic friendships you'll form. So I thank you very much for joining me. Hope to see you again. Have a good one, and bye for now.